we would not publish in the public place, only for our groups. Go ahead, Thăng Thiền.
Namo Sakamuni Buddha. Namo Sakamuni Buddha. Namo Sakamuni Buddha.
Thank you. Let me share the sutra here. Yeah, go ahead, Thăng Thiền. Please read.
If there is someone who can believe what you preach, then that person has seen me and has also seen you and the other monks and the Bo, Bodhisattva. This Lotus Sutra is preached for those with a profound wisdom. If a person with shallow understanding hear it, they will be perplexed and fail to comprehend. As for all the voice hearers and Buddhas, in this sutra, there are things that are beyond their powers, even you, Sariputra. In the case of this sutra, were able to gain entrance through faith alone. How much more so than the other voice hearers?
Yeah, go ahead, summarize, please.
What the Buddha say that when you preach to someone and they believe your teaching, then that person seen the Buddha before, and that person also seen Sariputta before, and they hear this teaching with a profound wisdom, and the one that hear this teaching before, but they're the one that they will have, will won't be able to comprehend. And for the teaching that here from the voice hearer and Pratyeka Buddha, and these sutras are beyond the powers. And even someone who listens to this sutra, they will be able to gain the entrance through faith alone, even the voice hearers.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, understanding this type of sutra is not easy, right? So it depends upon our wisdom. So it's like if we teach calculus to middle school or elementary school student, they will not understand. So this type of teaching requires a lot of wisdom to understand. Of course, we talk about the knowledge levels, but when we talk about the levels of practice, it's a bit different. But still, it's not easy to understand this kind of teaching if we don't have the affinity with this. So, Thăng Thiền, when did you start to learn this Lotus Sutra, or you just start when we have discussion?
The first time I learned the Lotus Sutra, I first read the chapter 25, the gate to all direction. That is the only first time I read it, and then I started chapter 1, 2, and 3 with you.
So Tammy is brand new for you, right? Yes, Lotus Sutra is brand new for you, right?
Right, that I remember anyways.
Yeah. How about Thăng Nguyễn? recite this sutra in Vietnamese before?
Yes, I actually hear about this, the name of this sutra 10 years ago.
Oh,
And I read several books of nuns or monks who was explaining about this sutra. But to read directly, open reading the sutra itself this is my, I think, second time, because I remember a few years ago somehow we also read something, but I am not sure if that Lotus Sutra or not.
So this is the first time we ever studied together this sutra then. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Thăng Nguyễn. Can you read, please?
Yes. So those other voice here is because they have faith in the Buddha words that they can comply with this sutra, not because of any wisdoms of their own. Also, Sariputra, to persons who are arrogant or lazy or taken up with views of the self, do not read this sutra. Those with the shallow understandings of ordinary persons who are deeply attached to the five desires cannot comprehend it when they hear it. Do not preach it to them. If a person fails to have faith, but instead slanders this sutra, immediately he will destroy all the seeds of becoming a Buddha in this world. Or perhaps he will scroll with knit brows and harbors doubt for felicity. Listen, and I will tell you the penalty this person must pay. Wherever the Buddha is in the world or has already entered extinction, if this person should slander a sutra such as this, or on seeing those who read, recite, copy, and uphold this sutra, should despite hate, envy, or bear grudges against them, the penalty this person must pay, listen, I will tell you now, then his life come to an end when he will enter the Avicii hell, be confined there for a whole kalpa, and when the kalpa ends, be born there again.
Yeah, you can stop here. That's okay.
Yes. So I think in this, the Buddha really want to highlight that we should really having faith in this sutra, because it's difficult to that we have that someone could believe his words here trying to teaching to us. Also, he mentions if someone not believe, then yeah, that person will also be born in Archivi hell, and then it's difficult for this person to get out of that place. This is what to my understanding.
So, so why did Buddha say that don't teach the teaching to the one that attached to the view of self or have the five desires strongly? You know the five desires. Can you spell out?
Yeah, I think uh, uh, um, I do think that to understand this sutra, we should have faith in the Buddha words, because the Buddha is in the world or has already entered extinction. To understand this sutra, one must really believe that one has Buddhahood. So the Buddha state of mind is actually inside of everyone or every beings, and to believe that and to have confidence in that, then we can understand all of his teaching in here. So if one cannot believe that the everyone can become the Buddha, and that the other five desires are just most of the attachment come from these five desires are just our delusions, the delusions and the unpuri motivations of our own ego. And if one don't realize that one have the ability to become the Buddha, there is a state in us that once we work on our own defilements, we can one day or at some certain moment we can become the Buddha. Then it's very difficult to teach or to explain to this person about this sutra. This is what I think.
But I mean that do you remember the five desires that the Buddha mentioned about? What are they, you know?
The five desires.
In Vietnamese we call năm dục lạc á. Remember?
Yeah. Danh sắc thực thùy. So the five defilements is the ego, the ego attached to our own ego, then person want to become famous, or what we see, or attached to our eyes, or what we have to attach to what we eat, or I don't know if that's
okay. Thân thiền, you know the five desires?
Yes, more factor. Eating, sleeping, lust, beauty, and money.
Okay.
Am I missing one?
Yeah, kind of. Let's put in the order. The first one is the wealth. Okay. Second one is sexual desire. Third is fame. The fourth is food. The last one is entertainments. Tammy, you follow me?
Yes, I follow you.
Yeah. So again, probably everyone person had that kind of attachment to them, but of course, everyone person has different ways to deal with them. So maybe we may have lesser or stronger attachment to them. So if we don't attach to them, we will not be here. So that's why we try our best to let them go, to detach from them bit by bit. And so here the Buddha say clearly that whoever is so arrogant or lazy, or they have attachment to self, or they have strong desire, or deeply attached to the five desires, it's not easy to teach them. Because they may not believe in Buddha nature, right? So they say, "Oh, I'm a real one. Which everything belong to me, don't touch." Whether it's the wealth, or the intellectual property, whichever, it's easy for them to be angry if someone invade their space or take away their stuff, or even ask them to share. They may not. So it's not easy for them um, to let go or to recognize this kind of principle. And here, it doesn't mean that the Buddha cursed them, that they don't accept the Buddha teaching. They may fall down to Avicii hell. Avicii hell. Thân thiện, you know what means Avicii hell?
A BC hell is it's a major hell where people born there, they're gonna suffer very very hard, and they're the one that stay there for a very long time. And so once they done with the body, they reborn again and again for many times. Yeah.
Yeah. Thầy Giáo Pháp, you want to say something more about the hells in Buddhist view, especially the Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra? Why did the Buddha say that if they don't believe in this sutra, right, or the teaching, they would fall into this Avicii hell?
Yeah, more yes. So basically, it's, this sutra is very tough to for us to understand, even for the boy here or practice Sika Buddha. It's beyond their power of wisdom. So they to themselves, they not even understand the sutra compared to the ordinary people like us. Even the Sariputta, right? He the number one wisdom in the void here, but he still not be able to understand the sutra. He only so he have faith in the sutra, but it doesn't mean that he comprehended, understand the sutra. So, and what does that mean? This sutra is the way teach us to become the Buddha, and that means it's very tough for us to believe in this. And also, that means the one who be able to preaching the sutra. That means that one person he already have the faith in the sutra. But if we do not believe and we slander, and that means we cause a lot of other people will not easily believe in this kind of sutra. So and therefore, that is the karma we pray. Basically, in the Buddhism, we're talking about karma. That means the action of the mind, the action of the mouth, and the body, right? So those things, and that we will, when we try to have that slander on the sutra, and sutra, this one is the ultimate goal, is become the Buddha. And that's why the opposite will be a very heavy offensive karma. One thing is when we believe in this sutra and we practice, and the blessing and the wisdom we gain, it will be ultimate. And opposite of that is we will also fall down to the most bottom one. So that is the opposite of that. So the one who slander, it means that they will go down to the VC hell. And this hell in the Ashto Bodhisattva Sutra, they say that in one day, right? This the person we call the sinner is constantly suffering, and they die. And that means they die and they be reborn again, if for 10,000 times. That means constantly they have been suffer with no gap of rest. That means they have no gap to rest. No, that means constantly torture due to their karma. And so This is the most heaviest punishment in Buddhism, but this punishment not come from by anyone. It comes from us, the karma that we pray. In Buddhism, there is no one be there to punish us, but we are the one who punish us by to our karma. And the reward is no one to reward us. We are the one who rewards through our good karma and the wisdom. Yeah,
so is this different from other traditions? Like they say that if they don't believe in God, they would go down to the hell forever. If they believe in God, they would go to heaven. Is that different idea?
It's totally different because in Buddhism, we believe in the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect, that means the cause, the condition, and the effect. And so everything happened for a reason. Nothing happened by itself. If we look into this world, right, everything, every phenomenon in this world, it happened for a reason. For example, when we go to the chemistry, if we are in the high school class, right, we take chemistry lab, we go to the lab and we do some experiment about a chemical, right? So that means we have to follow the procedure, cause, effect, cause, effect. Same idea.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay, John, can you read next, please, John?
He will keep repeating the cycle for a countless number of kalpas. Though he may emerge from hell, he will fall into the realm of beasts, becoming a dog or a jackal. His form lean and scruffy, dark, discolored, with scabs and sores, something for men to make sport of. Again, he will be hated and despised by men, constantly plagued by hunger and thirst. His bone and flesh dried up, in life undergoing torment, a hardship in death, buried beneath the tiles and stones. Because he cut off the seeds of Buddhahood, he will suffer this penalty. If he should become a camel or be born in the shape of a donkey, his body will constantly bear heavy burdens and have sticks or whip laid on it. He will think only of water and grass and understand nothing else. Because he slandered this sutra, this is the punishment he will incur. Or he'll be born as a jackal who comes to village, body all scabs and sores, having only one eye, by the boys beaten and cuffed, suffering grief and pain, sometimes to the point of death.
Can you summarize, please, John?
So what I got from this was like, it kind of felt like pretty much like the consequences of the person's action for like disregarding the sutra and like slandering it, like later on in life, that he will go through like some terrible phases. So from one of it said that he won't be born as a jackal and having like his body all scabs and like sores. So I pretty much this person is in pain.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Tammy, can you read? Or the children, they made a noise.
I think we should be good.
Yeah.
And after he has died, he will be born again in the body of a serpent, long and huge in size, measuring 500 yanas, deaf, witless, without feet, slithering along on his belly, with little creatures biting and feeding on him day and night, undergoing hardships and knowing rest, and never knowing rest. Because he slandered the sutra, this is the punishment he will incur. If he should become a human being, his facilities will be blighted and dull. He will be puny, vile, bent, crippled, deaf, hunchbacked. The things he says people will not believe. The breath from his mouth will be constantly foul. He will be possessed by devils, poor and lowly, ordered around by others, plagued by many ailments, thin and gaunt, having no one to turn to. Though he attached himself to others, they would never think of him. Though he might gain something, he would at once lose or forget it. So it's just talking more about what what happens if somebody slanders the sutra. The penalties of becoming a serpent, and even if they're born a human, that they'd have a miserable life.
So what do you think when you read this passage? Is possible or is too much punishment? What do you think?
It seems a lot, because anybody that would slander the sutra is like living in ignorance anyways. So it seems like an extreme punishment for somebody that just doesn't know what's going on.
Again, in Buddhism, there's no one that punishes us. There is no one that gives us the reward except our own karma. It makes sense, Tammy?
Yeah. So, but that seems like a lot of bad karma.
Yeah. So that's why when we read the karma, whether it's good or bad, those karma will follow us. Like for example, if someone don't believe in the law of karma, they come to the street and take away other people's properties, they end up in jail. That's their own karma. Their action lead them to the jail, not because someone forced them to steal or forced them to kill others. So they do that type of karma, and that karma lead them to that destinations. And on the other hand, right, if someone help other people in communities, everyone love them. So they earn the respect from other people. Yeah, go ahead, thầy giáo pháp, please.
So he might practice other medicine and by his method kill.
Hannah, get down.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. So he might practice the art of medicine and by his method kill someone disease. The person will grow sicker from some other malady and perhaps in the end would die. If he himself have an illness, no one would aid or nurse him, or though he took good medicine, it would only make each condition worse. If others should turn against him, he would find himself plundered and rough. His sin would be such that they would bring unexpected disaster on him. A sinful person of this sort will never see the Buddha, the king, and many sages preaching the law, teaching and converting. A sinful person of this sort will constantly be born amid difficulty, great death, confused in mind, and never will hear the law. For the countless kappa, numerous at rank and will at birth become deaf and dumb. His faculty impaired will constantly dwell in hell, showing it in it as though it were a garden, and the other evil paths existence will look on at his own house. Camel, donkey, pig, dog. This will be a form that he will take on because he slandered this sutra. This is the punishment he will incur. If he should become a human being, he will be deaf, blind, and dumb. Property, one all kind of decay will be adornment, water, blister, diabetes, scar, sore, ulcer, malady such as this will be his garment. Okay, basically, in this passage, we learn that if he want to, let's say that he is the medicine master, right? He want to give the medicine to to the patient, but when he give the medicine, he will make the patient get more more sicker, right? That means that person would be die. And if himself have the illness and no one can be able to help him, and his condition, even though he take a good medication, but his condition only worse. If other people turn against him, he find himself in a drop, right? His sin would be such that mean he always receive the unexpected disaster on him, and he never be able to see the Buddha, the king, and many say that means he would not be able to nearby the good advisor. So basically, a sinful, and also all of the bad thing happened to him. So basically, that is the punishment that he have. Yeah.
The bad karma, again, no one punished them except their own karma. Yeah, Thân Nguyen, can you read, please?
Yes. His body will always smell bad, filthy and impure. Deeply attached to views of self, he will grow in anger and hatred, afflict with insensuous desires. He will not spurn even birds or beasts. Because he slanders this sutra, this is the punishment he will incur. I tell you, Sariputra, if I were to describe the punishments that fall on person who slander this sutra, I could exhaust a kalpa and never come to the end. For these reasons, I expressly say to you, do not preach this sutra to persons who are without wisdom. But if there are those of keen capacities, wise and understanding, of much learning and strong memory, who seek to the Buddha way, then to persons such as this, it is permissible to preach this. If there are persons who are since hundreds and thousands and millions of Buddhas, have planned many good truths, and are firm and deeply committed in mind, then to persons such as it is permissible to preach it. If there are persons who are diligent, constantly cultivating a compassionate mind, not begrudging life or lamps, then it is permissible to preach it. So in the other part, also the Buddha explain that to the person who too much attached to himself, and then that person will get the karma that he will only grow in anger and hatred. But on the other hand, for person who have a capacity and have great commitment to seek the Buddha way, then they will get good karma, because they also already have this faith of seeing the hundreds and thousands and millions of Buddha from his own good roots and his own good deeds in the past. So to my understanding for this part is like, if we have a cup what is dirty, and the Buddha give us and the way to clean this cup, but if we don't believe him or we slander that, so it actually our cup will be never be clean. But if we truly believe that this is the way, the good sutra he gave us and teach us to clean ourselves, our karma, that one day we can become the Buddha, like hundreds or thousands of millions Buddhas in the past. Like also the cup, if we believe that we are going to clean the cup, it will be clean one day. But if we don't do anything and we just keep thinking, no, we don't believe that, then the cup will be always dirty and we get like the same, we get bad karma because we don't want to improve ourselves or work doing our best to learn and to practice the Dharma.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, can you share if you have ever dreamed the Buddha yet? Have you ever dreamed Buddha that appear in your dreams?
Yes, thưa thầy.
Yeah, a lot of times or just once in a while?
It's actually a lot of time. Also, most of the time, in my difficult time, when I am in doubt or in some bad karma come to me. Most of the time, at that time, I dream a lot about the monks. I had a lot of dream that especially when I have fever, I always have a dream that I was in the mountain with some other monk and we bring water back to the temple. That's most of the dream I have. Also, as kids, when I was ill, I always have dreaming that I was lying in a burning house and the people are crying and calling my name for help. Then at the next morning, I don't have a fever anymore, but I do remember that dream. Also, what happened to me just a few months ago, that 2 months ago, I have a dream that my grandfather will pass away. And at that time, my family in Vietnam, they keep the truth from me. So in the next morning, I call my mom and saying, "Oh, I have this dream. Please tell me what happened." Then they started telling me the truth. So also 1 month ago, they told me that, "Oh, your grandfather is going well." But I also have a dream that he called me back and saying, "No, this time I really go far away because I know somebody going to take me and waiting for me now. Just take care of yourself and things like that." And then I call my mom again and nobody tell me the truth until yesterday. My mom called me again because my grandfather passed away. So he just passed away yesterday. So I do think that because I believe in the truth and I work, I spend a lot of time doing meditations, and I do believe in the Buddha. I believe now that I have good karma to learn Buddhism at such a young age. So it's hard for other people to believe me, but a lot of my dreams will come true. Even to my work, I dream months before what will happen to my work, and then it's happened now to the company. So I truly believe that what the Buddha did here is true.
So you were monks in the past life, right? And when we have the purity in our mind, we can foresee something maybe happen in future. Of course, everyone is different. How about your Thân Thiện? Have you seen any Buddhas and Bodhisattva image in your dreams before?
I don't think I have. No.
No. Okay. So tell me, before you come across to Buddhism, you seen some Buddha image, pictures in your life when you were little, or it just happened recently?
Yeah, no, just recently. Even if I saw him, I didn't like see him. I probably walked right by without even recognizing.
Okay. In Target, right? They have the Buddha statue for people to buy, right? You know that?
They have one at Whole Foods, one of the grocery stores I go to, like
Oh,
the
really?
Happy Buddha. Right when you walk in, it's a huge Happy Buddha, and I never noticed it until here recently.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah,
that the Buddha or the Buddha that sit in meditation?
no, it's the Happy Buddha because
Right.
he's laughing.
Okay, yeah. Well, anyway, so that that is the side that we have connection with the Buddhas and Bodhisattva in the past. Again, if your mind is pure and calm, it's easy for you to foresee something in future or remember something in the past. Everyone person has that type of abilities. So there's nothing strange in Buddhist view. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, go ahead, Thân Thiện, please.
Yeah, if there are persons who are respectful, reverent, with mindset on nothing else, who separate themselves from common folly, to live alone among mountains and waters, then to persons such as this, it is permissible to preach it. Again, Sariputra, if you see a person who thrusts aside evil friend and associate with good companions, then to a person such as this, it is permissible to preach it. If you see a son of the Buddha observing the precept clean and spotless as a pure, bright gem, seeking the great vehicle sutra, then to a person such as this, it is permissible to preach it. If a person is without anger, upright, and gentle in a nature, constantly pitying all beings, respectful and reverent to the Buddhas, then to a person such as this, it is permissible to preach it. Again, if a son of the Buddha in the midst of the great assembly should with a pure mind employ various causes and conditions, samaya, parables, and other expressions to preach the law in unhindered fashion. To a person such as this, it is permissible to preach it. So what it's saying that someone who is respectful and reverent with a mindset, and the person who live alone on the mountains or along the mountain and waters, then you can preach this sutra to the person. And if you see a person that don't be friend with the evil friend or associate, but they are getting along with the good persons, then you should preach to this person. If you see someone who is the son of the Buddha that observing the precept, and they observe the precept as clean and spotless as pure bright gem, and seeking the great vehicle sutra, then you should preach this sutra to this person. If you see a person without anger, and that person is upright and gentle in nature, and this person have pity on all beings, and this one is also respectful to the Buddha, then you should preach to this person. Then also you also, when you see a son of the Buddha in the midst of the great assembly, so with a pure mind, someone with a pure mind, and someone who employ various causes and conditions, semi imperishable and other express to preach law in an unhindered fashion, and you can also preach this sutra to this person.
Okay, thank you. So again, the Buddha lists out the qualifications of the people that we can share this kind of teaching. But my question is that why do they need this type of qualification? Become a good person, a compassionate person, virtual person, and so forth. So why do they need this type of qualification in order to understand the teaching? Why is that, Thang Thiền?
So we should preach this sutra to the one who is ready to learn the sutra, the one who is willing to learn the sutra, the one who has the good mind, the pure mind. So this is a person who can be able to understand the sutra. But you cannot preach the sutra to the other one who not willing to hear the sutra, who's not willing to practice the law, or the one who is willing to break the law. You should not preach it to the person. If you do, and this person listen to the law and take the refugees, and this person slander the law, then this person gonna to go through a lot of trouble, and this person will create heavy karma. So I think it's better that you should not preach to this person.
Okay. How about you, Thang Nguyen? What do you think? So the Buddha lists out those qualifications. Again, we need to understand why do we need to teach this teaching to an ethical person, a compassionate person, a virtuous person. Why is that?
I think because that will benefit that person the most, and it will not waste our time on the person who don't have this quality. Wherever to understand what is the meaning and what is the purpose of this sutra, one should have a good karma, and also one's also having faith in the sutra itself and in the Buddha nature himself. Then yeah, we can this sutra can help that person. And if we preach this sutra to a person who is like yeah, they don't believe, or they have already unpure mind. It's like we drink tea from a dirty cup. It's not good for us. It's also not good for him. Yeah, this is what I think today.
Well, tell me, what do you think? What do you think about this passage? Why do the Buddha provide this kind of qualification. We only share this teaching with the good people, compassionate people, the virtuous people, not on all around. You know why?
I think just to help protect them, if that way they're open to hearing the word. If they're not, if they don't have those qualities, and they won't be as open to hearing the teachings. And then if they're not open like that, then they could potentially slander it, and then have their bad karma come back on them.
It's not easy, right? Have you shared with your brothers and whoever that you study this Lotus Sutra and study Buddhism with us and every Friday, or you come here to do meditation? Have you shared with them?
No, I don't really talk to them very often. They know that I go to the temple, though, that I, but as far as the details, not really. I don't talk to them very much at all.
How about meditation? You come here every day, Friday. You enjoy the peace?
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's great. But I don't think I've shared even the meditation part with them. Everything's been so wild with this virus. I haven't been around very many of them to talk to them. But yeah, I really enjoy coming out there and meditating and doing some of the prayers with the nun. It's nice.
About in the morning, so you just listen to the prayer without understand all of the meanings and right?
Yeah, I'm glad that you translate for me now. It makes it much more meaningful.
Okay. But you listen to the melody when we decide the mantra and the sutra in the morning.
Yeah, and that's when I started listening. Is pretty. It was a couple months after you told me about chanting and how it was just fine. Even if you don't understand the meaning, that all the sutras and stuff are good to hear anyways. And so after I started listening to some of the chanting, then I felt more comfortable with just listening to it in the morning and in the evening. So every morning, every evening, even though I don't understand it, I can listen to it. But then I also have where I can read through it. I have the words translated, so I can read through it. But I always read through it a lot quicker. So then I have time to kind of just meditate through the rest of the prayer in the evenings.
So you take notes every time that I translate for you in the morning?
Say it again.
You still take notes whenever I translate in the morning?
Do I what? Say it again. I'm sorry.
You still take notes?
Yeah. So I've gotten some of them done. What I have to do is I have to go back through. So I don't do it like right in the morning, but later on when I have time, then I'll sit back and go back through it again and just keep going back until I get all the words down. I have a few of the first few mornings done, but I'm gonna go back and do the rest of them of the one that you just finished.
Yeah, wow,
it's helpful to remember. That's how I studied for the CPA exam too.
Oh, yeah.
I would just, you take the notes and go back when you listen again and again and again and again until you get all the details in there. It really helps it stick in there.
Okay. So you go back to listen again on the Facebook or what?
Yeah, on Facebook. So I'll listen to it in the morning and then I'll play it again just to kind of re-listen to it. And then when I have time, I'll sit back down and type it up and listen to it over and over and over again so I get all the details through.
You know what Tammy is talking about?
Is it?
You know what
you mean the morning recitation?
Yeah, she go in, even she couldn't understand Vietnamese at all. She joined in with our morning recitation almost every morning. And so at first, I didn't pay attention to that, but later on I recognized Tammy's there, so that's why I translate bit by bit to her so that she can understand the sutra. This is very good sutra. Every day we just decide only a couple of pages, and that's all. Very short. So most of the time I try to summarize the meaning of the sutra at particular parts. Thông Nguyên, you follow her?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, even she couldn't understand Vietnamese, but she could listen to the melodies. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Tammy, can you read, please?
If there are monks who, for the sake of comprehensive wisdom, seek the law in every direction, pressing palms together, gratefully accepting, desiring only to accept and embrace the sutra of the great vehicle, and not accepting a single verse of the other sutras, to persons such as this, it is permissible to preach it. If a person earnest in mind seeks the sutra as though he were seeking the Buddha's relics, and having gained and gratefully accepted it, that person shows no intention of seeking other sutras and has never once given thought to the writings of the non-Buddhist doctrines. To a person such as this, it is permissible to preach it. I tell you, Sariputta, if I described all the characteristics of those who seek the Buddha way, I could exhaust a kalpa and never be done. Persons of this type are capable of believing and understanding. Therefore, for them, you should preach the Lotus Sutra of the Wonderful Law. So it's just going through and giving more examples of people that are ready to hear the Lotus Sutra. And then it tells that really there's all kinds of different people that are ready. The whole kalpa could be spent describing different characteristics of people that are ready to hear the Lotus Sutra.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, actually, we should wait for the right times and right moment to learn anything, right? Whether it's a Buddhist sutra or psychology or whichever subject, right? Okay, let's see here. Oh, that's all for us for this chapter. Thân Thiên, you understand about this chapter? You summarize what's this chapter about? Can you do that? Can you remember what the essential meanings of this sutra?
Essential meanings. I know there's about burning house. Is that what the Buddha is saying, that we need to stay, we need to not to get engrossed in the game.
Okay.
We should stay awake and be awake like him. And we need to get out of the burning house and practice the way. And we need to practice like him, like the rich man, like the Buddha, to help other people to be free from suffering. And we should practice practice like him, and that's about the burning house. And then the other one is about who should we preach the Lotus Sutra to, and who should we not preach the sutra to.
Okay. Tammy, you understand the whole meanings of this chapter?
Yeah, I think so.
Try to summarize.
So about the burning house, how humanity's the burning house, and using one vehicle to kind of end the suffering. And then again, how he was talking about what we just learned about people being ready to hear the different teachings, and people that aren't ready, and how to be careful with it.
So what are the things that you take away from this chapter?
The burning house, really, that whole metaphor. I think that will stick with me, unfortunately, forever.
Is that realities? That's happened in reality, or just?
Yeah. So it's like a double whammy. Like saying you're in suffering is one thing, but then when you put it in a metaphor like that and then explain it, it's like it hits you again, you know. So that whole metaphor, and then about expedient means and getting the kids, bringing everyone to safety, using different words at, like you said, different times and different when they're ready to hear the different teachings, to help to leave their suffering, or help them to learn how to leave their own suffering.
Okay. What do you think about the Buddha say this world is a burning house? Is that true, or everyone has different experience? What do you think? Someone they say, oh, this is happy life, and we enjoy this life, whether it's material life or spiritual life. But in Buddhist view, right? Buddha say this is the burning house. Is that true? What do you think?
I think that's true, thưa thầy.
Can you elaborate why it's true? Is it true for everyone else or only true for our Buddhists?
I think this what I learned in when I read about Buddhism is in the text the Buddha teach everyone in trying to adapt to their level of understanding. So most of the time the story like this just an indirect way of him to explain about the truth. One truth is when I study technical, actually when we talk about fire is the fire can happen to everywhere. If it have enough conditions, the fire just everywhere. So it's also for internally we have also impure mind, and we have hatred, anger, we have too many defilement in the mind, and if we don't work on it, we create our own health already at the moment. So if there are, for example, if there are no teaching of the Buddhas, I think that we are not able to sit here to study here now, because people are running to too many delusions themselves, and most of the motivation of that is based on their own ego, or the not good. It will bring the world to the end very soon if people don't practice the Buddha and don't believe that everyone has the Buddha state and work hard on it.
John, what do you think? You're still young, right, John? You're 20, right, John? So what do you think when you read this passage? The Buddha say everything is burning. This is burning house. What do you think, John? John is freshman in college. John is a brother of Thân Thiện. What do you think, John? Thân Thiện, he's there. Thân Thiện, he lived in St. Louis, and he come to our monastery frequently to do meditation. He loved meditation. Yeah. So he's there, Thân Thiện.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You understand my question?
Can you repeat it?
Okay. If you don't mind, can you turn on the cam? So the question is that in this passage, right, in this chapter, the Buddha said that the world is burning. So what do you think? You're still young, okay? You're 19 or 20?
20.
20. So what do you think? Is that true? The world is burning house, a lot of sufferings, or is enjoyable? What do you think?
You said the burning house?
I mean, that has Buddha views, but how about you? What do you think? Is that burning house? Is that a lot of sufferings, or is this? But I mean that. But in the other hand, What do you think? It's just the life is happy, life is beautiful, life is enjoyable. What do you think? I mean, I'm asking your views.
For me, I think life can go either way.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it depends on like your decisions in your life,
Okay.
like how it can impact it.
Okay. Hmm. But in general, yeah, of course, it may go either way, right? Happiness and suffering depend upon how we deal with them, right? But in general, you look around and look at yourself. In general, we have more suffering than happiness, or we have more happiness than suffering. What do you think?
Likely, there's still more suffering than there is happiness.
Why is that? Can you give one example?
So I'll say during like the pandemic, like it hasn't been well for people. Like they don't have their jobs. Like they're limited to go anywhere.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to Tammy. What do you think, Tammy? Uh, before, I mean, that before you learn about Buddhism, before you learn about this kind of teaching, what did you think? Life is more happiness or life is more suffering? Or both? What do you think?
Suffering for sure. Even before this, I knew that. And it's not just like it's everybody's suffering. I've always known that because of just all the different places I've worked. So even the owners of the company are suffering. It doesn't matter if you're working on the floor, sweeping the floor, or if you own the company. Everybody's experienced some kind of suffering in their life, no matter who they are. You can't get away from it. But what most people do, I found, is they'll drink or they'll do some type of drugs to alleviate that suffering for the moment. So that's what I found like about everybody does, from my understanding, no matter what level you're at. But no, everybody's definitely experiencing suffering if they haven't in their past, and they're continuing to do it because they're reliving their past, or they're just living in ignorance. So until you get out of ignorance, then you're going to keep repeating that cycle and being in suffering. But for sure, it's across the board.
Okay. So is that pessimistic view or that's reality?
Realistic. I have a very realistic view.
Okay. So is that the view that of some people or most of people? I mean, that in American society, right?
I don't think most people really think about it. I think they all think they're probably happy and having a great life, unless, they might sit down and think about their past every now and then, but I think they all live in ignorance pretty much, especially with the ways that you can go about not thinking about it. So, different, like drinking or drugging or shopping or watching TV or whatever you have to distract, just different distractions. So I don't think they think about it much, and they're able to make themselves believe that they're happy.
So in American views, they just try to enjoy their life, right? And they don't pay attention about the reality that they face, right? Stress, anxiety, loss in job, and so forth, right?
Yeah, and even when people tell them, like reality, they won't believe it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even like with the virus, the virus is out there. People still don't believe that it's there, So it's stuff like that all the time. And that's why I guess you have to be ready. Like you said, it's got to be the right. That's right.
People don't believe it's there, but it's there.
Yep. Yeah, so people just don't want to believe, and that's why you have to have them at the right time for them to understand anything, because they just, even if you say it to them, they won't accept it, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Anyway, so even right now in our state, right, Kentucky, right, they don't allow more than 25 people to come together, right? But sometimes they go to the bars, right? So again, whether they accept or not, right, the reality is the reality, right? They have to deal with like this pandemic, huh? Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, let's just end this discussion. We over times. Right, thank you. Go ahead, Thân Thiên. Can you say Namo Shakti Buddha, please, Thân Thiên?
Yes, thanks. Namo Sakamuni Buddha. Namo Sakamuni Buddha. Namo Sakamuni Buddha.
Thank you. Yeah.